Hello, friends. Welcome to BetCrafts. Today being Saturday, the 24th of February 2024, and we're starting from yesterday's game that we predicted. We saw, a lot of success. In that game, we saw seven out of the eight games that we looked into that yesterday. Seven games, came to fruition, and remind you that in those games we had a lot of big odds that eventually gave us good results yesterday. So congratulations to all of us. Kudos to those of us who won, and that is a testament to the fact that a lot of work has been done in this channel. We put in a lot of work to come up with these predictions. The best you could do is to subscribe and be part of the family. Okay, if this is the first time, please try to click the subscription button down there so that each time we make these predictions, you get notified in your device, and you don't miss out on that occasion. So today we go again today because we have a lot of games going on across the globe, and we have about 12 games because today is a Saturday. A lot of games are going on, all over the world. So we looked at 12 games that we selected and come up with the very best verdict for these very games. Okay, starting with the first game that we have for you, it is an English Premier League where Bournemouth will be coming up against Manchester City. Manchester City is currently ranked second in the league, Liverpool being the first, followed by Man City. But Bournemouth is also ranked 13th in the league. We look at how these two teams have fared. Usually we look at the 20 games that have played in the past, and also look at their 5 games that have played in the past, how they've fared, and then we come up with our verdict. So for the home side, Bournemouth, who have played their 20 games, they have had 9 wins, and they have drawn 4, but they have lost 7 times out of those 20 games they have played. But we look at Man City. Man City have been able to win 15 out of those 20, drawing 4, losing just 1. Okay, and in their recent encounters in their last 5 games, you see that Bournemouth have managed 1 win out of the 5, and they have had 3 draws and 1 loss, which was against Fulham. Okay, and Man City, their away side, have been able to win 4 out of 5 games, and they have had 1 draw, which was against Chelsea in the Premier League. So putting all of this together, the verdict for this very encounter is our side to win. We expect Man City to win. The game we had for you today is actually Arsenal game. We'll see that Arsenal will be coming up against Newcastle. Arsenal is ranked third in English league, and against Newcastle, who's ranked 8th in the English league. We see that in recent times, Arsenal has been fine scoring team. They've been able to score 44 goals in the past 20 they have played, and have only conceded 18. On the other hand, Newcastle have scored 34, and they have also conceded 36 goals in the process. And okay. Also looking at how they have fared in so far, we see that Arsenal have been able to win 12, and they have drawn 2, and have had 6 losses, while Newcastle have had 7 wins, 4 draws, and 9 losses. And looking at the previous games, and we see that Arsenal have been able to manage 4 wins in their past 5, while Newcastle have managed 3 out of their past 5, drawing 2. Okay, in this very encounter, the verdict for this very game is over 2.5 goals. We're going to see at least 3 goals coming up in this very encounter. All right, to the next prediction for the day. We saw it's also in English Championship, where we have Southampton coming up against Millwall, and we'll see that Southampton is ranked 4 and Millwall is ranked 21 in the English Championship. And Southampton, who is a team who will be looking to make it to Premiership come up next season. So they're going to do everything to win this very encounter. And in the past 20, they have been able to score 45 goals. They have conceded just 15, while our away side have been able to score only 18, and they have lost. They have conceded 31 times. And they also the home side have been able to win 13 times in the past 20. Drawing 5, and they have lost 2 games in the past 20, while the away side have managed 4 wins, 4 draws and 12 losses in the past 20 games I've played so far. And looking at the recent games, Southampton have managed 3 wins in the past 5, while Millwall have lost 4 and drawn 1 in the past 5 games I've played so far. So the verdict for this very game is Southampton, which is the home side, to come up winners in these very encounters. Okay, the next game that we have for you is in French League One, where we have Strasbourg coming up against Brest, and we could see that Brest is a second-ranked team in French league. Strasbourg is ranked 10. And so, looking at the past 20 for both teams, we see that Strasbourg has managed 7 wins, 6 draws, and 7 losses in the past 20, while the Brest, have been able to amass 10 wins, 6 draws, and 4 losses in the past 20. And looking at the recent games for both teams, we see that Strasbourg have managed 1 win, they have lost 3 and 1 draw, while away side Brest have managed 1 win, 3 draws, and 1 loss, which was against Paris Saint-Germain in a French Cup. And in this very game, we expect the away side to either win or draw in this very game. So the verdict is a way to win or draw in this encounter. So the next game that we have for you, it is in German Bundesliga, where we have Stuttgart coming up against Cologne. Stuttgart, who's ranked 3 in the league, and Cologne is ranked 16. And we can see from the past 20 for both sides that Stuttgart have been able to win 13. They have had 1 draw and 6 losses, while their away side are having 4 wins, 7 draws and 9 losses in their past encounter. So you will see that Stuttgart have scored 42 goals, conceding 24 times, while Cologne have scored 32, while they have conceded 34 times. Okay, and looking at the recent form, we'll see that Stuttgart have been able to win 4 out of the past 5 games, losing 1 only to Bayern Leverkusen, who are the league leaders at the moment. And Cologne, their away side, have lost 2 out of the past 5. They have drawn 2 also as well, and they have had just 1 win against Frankfurt in the past 5 games that are played so far. So the verdict for this very game is that home side Stuttgart to win in this very encounter. Okay, the next game for today we have in German Bundesliga 2, Osnabrück coming up against our darling Hannover 96. And you can see, from the recent games so far that Hanover have been able to win 11 games out of 20 in the past recent games, and they have been able to draw 4. They have drawn 5, and they have had 4 losses. And then the home side, have managed 3 wins, 9 draws, and 8 losses. And for the recent past, for the recent 5 games for Hanover, they have won 4 and they have drawn just 1, while for the home side, Osnabrück, they managed 1 win and they have lost 1, and they have drawn 3 other games in the past 5 games they have played so far. The verdict for this very game, seeing how good Hanover has been in the recent past, we believe that they're going to come up with winners in this very encounter. So the verdict for this very game is Hanover to win outrightly in this very encounter. So the next game we have is in Greece, where Lamia will be coming up against AEK Anthems. AEK Anthems is the league toppers, and Lamia is ranked 6th in the Greece league. And we'll see that in the past 20, both Lamia have been able to win 8. They have drawn 5. They have had 7 losses, while AEK Anthems have had 10 wins, 7 draws, and 3 losses in the past 20 games they have played. What they've mentioned is the goal scoring. You see that AEK have also scored 37 goals, while they have conceded only 18, while Lamia have scored 29, but they have conceded 30 in the past 20 games. And looking at the recent form for both teams, we see that Lamia have managed 4 wins out of 5, drawing 1 in the recent past. And the AEK Anthems also have had 4 wins in the past 5, and have also drawn 1. Okay, we're looking at this game. We'll see that it is going to be a very exciting encounter, seeing that both teams are in very fine form. And we'll see that they have, in the past 5 games for Lamia, they have all scored over 2.5 in the past 5 games that have played so far. And looking at AEK Anthems, they have had over 2.5 on 4 occasions in the past 5 games that have played. So the verdict for this very game is we're going to see at least 3 goals coming up in this very encounter. We're going to see 2.5 in this very encounter. So to the next game that we have, it is in its Italian Serie A, where Salernitana will be coming up against Monza. Monza, who is ranked 11 in the league, and Salernitana is also ranked 20 in Italian Serie A. They are the worst team at this moment in Italian Serie A. Looking at the past 20 games for both teams, we'll say that Salernitana have been able to manage 3 wins in the past 20, and they have drawn 4, and they have also had 13 losses in the past 20. They have games they have played. Looking at Monza have managed 7 wins, 7 draws, and 6 losses in the past 20 games. And also, what you've mentioned is the fact that Monza is in the team who have defeated AC Milan in the past league match, winning AC Milan by 4 goals to 2. Okay, that shows they are in fine form, and in the past 5 games they have been able to have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And Salernitana, on the other hand, in the past 5 games they have played, they have lost 4, and they have just had 1 draw, which was against Torino. So not spending so much time in this very game. The verdict for this very game is their way side to win outrightly. We expect Monza to win this very encounter with Salernitana. Okay, the odd is priced at 2.58. It's a very big odd. Okay, away win on that occasion. And the next game that we have for you is PEC Zwolle coming up against PSV. In this very encounter, we expect we see that in the past 20 for both teams that Zwolle have been able to have 6 wins. They have had 6 draws and 8 losses. While on the other hand, I will see that PSV, who is top in the league in the Dutch league, they have won 14 times out of the 20 games they have played. They have had 5 draws and 1 loss in the past 20 games they have played. Looking at the recent 5 games, we see that PSV have managed 3 wins and have had 2 draws in the past 5 games, while Zwolle on the other hand have had 2 wins and 2 draws and 1 loss in the past 5 games. Okay, and very encounter is the away side to win. Seeing that PSV have scored a lot of goals, and PSV are the top ranked team in the Dutch league, and they've been winning their matches, and they want to maintain grip in that league. So PSV to win. That's the verdict for that very encounter. So looking at the next game that we have for you, it is in Portugal, where we have Victoria Guimarães coming up against Casapia in Portuguese league. Guimarães is ranked 5th and Casapia is ranked 12th. And we're looking at how the teams have fared so far in the past 20 games I've played. We'll see that Victoria Guimarães have been able to amass 13 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses in the past 20 they have played, while their away side have managed 6 wins, 4 draws, and 10 losses. What I've mentioned is also the goal scoring. We see that Guimarães have scored 40, conceding 19, while the away side have managed to score 18 goals, while they have conceded 33 goals in the past 20 games I've played so far. And looking at the recent form, we see that home side have managed 2 wins out of the past 5 games I've played so far. The 2 last games I've played so far I've seen draw, and in this game they want to do their best to come up winners in this very encounter. While the away side in the past 5 they have only managed 1 win, and they have had 3 losses and 1 draw in the past 5 games I've played. So the verdict for this very game is that Victoria Guimarães to come up winners in this very encounter. And looking at the next game that we have for you, it is in Spanish Liga, where Almeria will be coming up against Atletico Madrid. And in this very encounter, we see that Almeria is the least team in La Liga, while Atletico Madrid is ranked 4th in La Liga. In the past 20, Almeria have managed just 1 win and 6 draws and 13 losses in the past 20 games. And in the process, they managed only 17 goals, while they have also conceded 35 goals in the past 20 games they have played. And Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, have been able to score 36. They have also conceded 25 goals. And looking at the matches, we see that Atletico Madrid have managed 11 wins, and they have had 2 draws and also 7 losses out of those 20 games they have played so far. And in the past 5 games for Almeria have lost 3, and they have had 2 draws in the past 20 for them, while Atletico Madrid have won just one win in the past 5 games they have played. losing one against Inter Milan and also against Sevilla and against Atletico Bilbao in Copa del Rey. So in this very game, they want to go back to winning ways. They want to do their best to come up the winners against the least team in Spanish La Liga. So the verdict for this very game is away side to come up winners. Atletico Madrid to win outrightly in this very encounter. Going to the last game of the day, it is in Turkey where we have Fenerbahce who will be coming up against Kasim Pasar. Kasim Pasar. Okay, Kasim Pasar is ranked fifth, and Fenerbahce is ranked second in that Turkish league. But they want to do their best to see what they can do to rescue that league from Galatasaray, who's currently the number one team in Turkish league. And in this very encounter, we're looking at the 20 games that both teams have played. We see that Fenerbahce have been able to score 50 goals in their last 20 games, and they have conceded just 21, while Kasim Pasa have scored 40 and they have conceded 34 in the past 20 games they have played. And also, Fenerbahce have been able to have 14 wins and 4 draws and 2 losses in the past 20, while Kasim Pasa have had 9 wins, 3 draws and 8 losses in the past 20. So we're looking at the games they have played in the recent past. Fenerbahce have managed 4 wins out of 5. Kasipasa also have managed 3 wins out of 5 with 1 draw and 1 loss. And looking at this game critically, we see that 4 games out of the Kasim Pasa game have seen over 2.5, and for Fenerbahce, 3 out of 5 have also seen over 2.5. So the very best verdict for this very encounter, seeing that each time Fenerbahce is playing home, they usually come up with at least 2.5 game goals in their account. So this very game is its verdict is over 2.5. We're going to see at least 3 goals in this very encounter. And that concludes our betting predictions for today. And